So we'll begin Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So as usual, we all begin with opening a sacred space. And today I thought we would talk about some essential truths in life. Essential truths. There's some truths that we can kind of work ourselves around, but there are some essential truths. One of these truths is that we are all born, and at some point we will all die. It's just the nature of existence, right? No big deal. That's just the way it is. It's a truth. And this truth, we like entertainment about it. So we'll watch TV programs, which are thrillers and horror movies, all based around that. But we don't want to look at it for ourselves. So in the wisdom of the Sikhs, it says, Pelna Maran Kabul. First, accept that one truth, just that one truth. And secondly, stop clinging to that which is not true. Jivan ki chad as. Stop clinging to that which isn't true. And what isn't true? The truth is that which doesn't change. That's the definition of truth. That which does not change. And anything that changes cannot be called truth, can it? I mean, we're all thinking people. Can it be called truth? When you're having a dream, is it true that you're having a dream? Yes, it is. When you wake up, is it true that you can go back to the dream? No, it's gone. So while it happens, while the experience takes place, it feels to be the truth. But in reality, it's a shift, it's a change. Today will change into tomorrow, just like yesterday changed into today. So today we had the privilege, in one way, and also the sadness, to attend a funeral of a friend of the Flame Center, who unfortunately died through an act of suicide. And when we went and spoke to the family shared some of the truths about her life and asked us if we would be able to say a few words about this human being, this individual. And I want to bring a few things to notice. Number one, this particular individual used to come to the Flame Center back in the day in the city arcade. And she used to come and talk about predictive dreams. She was going through dreams that used to tell her of future events. And some of these dreams were quite um, overwhelming. Some of these dreams created a sense of, Dove, I don't want to know this stuff. Dove, I don't want to know this stuff. So this way. So our friend was used to this transpersonal experience, and I want to make this really important. So she had this sensitive side, and most of us do, even though we deny it. It's just part of life. This sensitive side in which we can tap in, when sometimes the phone, you think of someone, phone rings, that kind of thing. We're all psychic. We're all kind of, there's an antenna around us. So anyway, so this individual has these transpersonal events, and as a result came to a couple of retreats through which to help her come to terms with what was happening with her. Then comes the seasonal change in life. Yeah. And the seasonal change is referred to as menopause. And this seasonal change quickly became depression and quickly started expressing many other symptoms. And the individual became very, very ill. In that time, we'd lost contact until about a month, well, maybe 3, 4 months ago. Until then, we'd lost contact. During that time, it appears that every intervention was tried, but no one looked at the bigger picture. That this individual is already wired up, is already sensitive, is already intuitive. And therefore, when people are having such experiences, that in itself can make you question your sanity, can make you question where you are. So, having met her family, what we realized was, as she was being looked after by her family's health began to deteriorate very quickly. Parents in their autumn years, family, friends, sisters, brothers, children, nieces, nephews, everyone put their life on hold trying to support this individual whose health increasingly became deteriorated to the point that she said, I don't watch my family deteriorate. I can see what's happening to my parents. This isn't the age to look after me. This is the age for your comfort. She said to her sister, don't worry about it. You'll get over it in a couple of years. At least you can get on with your life. So, this now takes us into the religious paradigm. So, in the religious paradigm, everything, number one, according to this worldview that I speak of, all is as it needs to be. All is. All is. No question about it. We may question ourselves, this is right, this is wrong. Makes no difference. Makes no difference. Things are the way they are. That's hukam, the unfolding of this present moment in a kind of a balancing way. And it has nothing to do with you and I. So that's the starting point. The second element is things that are done in your egoic sense, things that are done to serve you. Let's put it that way. Things that you do to serve you, irrespective of all those around you, through your self importance, through your victimhood, through your pain, however you want to look at it. It's an egocentric space. But to sacrifice yourself for the welfare of another and others seems to be a sense of a space of sacrifice, a space of doing that which benefits all those around me. I've told them, but it'll be detrimental to me. It's a big step. It's a big step. We all talk about unconditional love, but this is beyond unconditional love. So we ask the individuals present, so how do you view this event? How do you view it? Is it now connotated with the word suicide? Or is it now connotated with the word sacrifice? You decide. And her family is clear on that. So that's the second question. I think that answered that one. And the third one, how long does it take to get over grief? The first is grief and loss, and that pain that you feel is love that's hard to express. That's all it is. Nothing wrong with you. Just love that's hard to express. And it comes out through that emotion. And that emotion, that space, when we come across a tragedy like this, an event like this, we are catapulted. You have no choice in it. You're all of a sudden in a different space. And space, there's a few stages that you will go through. All of us do. Doesn't matter what. You lose your phone, you'll go through the same. Trust me. First, it's disbelief. Where the hell did I put my phone? Shock that you could have been away from that. And that's just a phone. Then bargain. Could have done it here, could have done this, could have done this. Maybe I could have done this. Bargaining. Trying to work out what's happening. Shock, disbelief, bargaining. 3 stages, early stage. Then anger. Then anger. Anger at the system, anger at yourself, anger at others, anger at the individual. That's just the way it is. Has to come out. That anger is your growth. That anger is your flourishing. As long as you don't stay there. And then we come to the sadness and the depression. And this is like not necessarily A, B, C, D. It's like a fluctuating space, right? As we go beyond the shock space. And then we get into the sadness. Then we get into the depression. Then we realize the vacuum just disappeared. Now, doesn't that help us ask a question of ourselves? We defined truth to be that which doesn't change. And that which changes cannot be the truth. And yet, we give this body so much emphasis that we live just by this, never realizing that that which is changing must stand on that which doesn't change. Fundamental truth. Life is duality. Its existence is a duality that comes out of this space of nirguna, no-thingness, consciousness, God, existence, call it what you want. Out of that arises the wave. The wave is dualism. It's the feminine energy. It's the female. All creation is feminine. Out of the feminine comes the masculine. That's just the nature of life. Guru Nanak tells us this. From a woman is born, and then from a woman, a man is born. And today we can't even recognize the definition of what it means to be a woman. Talk about assault on identity. Anyway, different story. So, going back to this process of loss, this process of grief, this process of change. Once we begin to recognize that change is inevitable and we allow ourselves to change, allow ourselves to experience a different kind of compassion, not a compassion that comes out of suffering. You're in pain and I think, you're in pain. Not like that. Or I'm in pain and you look at me and think, oh man, Dav, I wish you weren't in pain. We're not talking about suffering-led compassion. We come to a new compassion, a compassion called transpersonal compassion, karuna. This moment will never come again. Those that you're with, everything is changing. Once you recognize that, yes, messes up the ego for a while, but that's the nature of life. But it allows us to love without attachment. And if anything that we have learned from today, from our friends' actions, are this, that self-compassion, unconditional love, and self-sacrifice can only happen for those who know unconditional love. So I'll leave it with that today. Yeah. Okay. Heavy subject, but that's life. But it's not heavy. We need to talk and we need to recognize this. In recognizing this, we will recognize something that's unchanging. That which I talk about, that which is unchanging, is the focus of your meditation. You just keep looking at yourself. And as you look at yourself, going beyond your thoughts, going beyond your emotions, beyond all of that, you will come to stillness, silence, presence. That's always there. And if it's always there, then it must have some element of truth in it. As we agreed at the start, that which doesn't change has a truth in it. Put your hand in the fire today, it'll burn. Put it tomorrow, it'll burn again. Has a truth in it. So if you go to the same place over and over again, there's a truth in it. And in that lies our comfort. In that lies knowing that once you realize you are no separation between you as the wave that is happening and the ocean from which it arises. There is no separation. There is no separation, just different varieties of waves. That's all it is. Once we begin to see this for what it is, not believe, not because I'm saying there's a Santa Claus, it's there. Look at it. Every spring, the flowers come. The grass grows by itself. The seasons change by themselves. Everything happens exactly as it needs to happen. No intervention. However, the human ego is such, always thinks it knows better, and which is why we're in the mess we're in. But we'll leave that for another day. Okay, so we'll go into our meditation. So, as usual, I'd like you to enter your space with a thought. What if this was the last time you were to meditate? Just to bring life a little bit home. And if this was the last time we were going to meditate, to know the body, as you breathe in, bring yourself to your body with a compassionate gaze. Notice your posture. Notice any sensations that are dominant. And this body that you occupy, you can sense it. And you can sense maybe a little bit further away from the body as well. See if you can notice that. As you breathe in again, bring your focus now to the chair or the floor that you're on. And begin to notice how well you're supported. Not just supported, but you're embedded. You're embedded in the here and the now. Can't be anywhere else. The breath you take in now can only be taken by the air that's in front of you. And if you feel warm or if you feel cold, can only be experienced in the place you're in, the environment that holds you. So notice how you're embedded, how this moment leads to the next, all by itself. bringing your focus to where your body makes contact with wherever you're sitting on or lying on. Begin to notice the sensations within the body. As your next breath comes in, bring your focus up so you become aware of your hips. So you're taking your time. Keep reminding yourself, I entered this space like it was my last meditation for today. Bring your focus down your thighs, looking at your body from your knees, moving down to your ankles. Notice how you are complete. Notice your feet. Perfect, complete. You got them without asking. Notice the soles of your feet. Bringing your focus back to the chair or the seat you're on. Notice that your back is straight and upright. Is there any discomfort in it? Gently bring your focus up from your lower back to your middle back, scanning the lower back. Move up to your shoulder blades, taking time to notice your body, taking time to be a little bit grateful for what we have. Bringing your focus up towards your shoulders, and then gently bring your focus towards your neck. And when you're ready, if you gently pull your chin in, notice the back of the neck stretches. And just simply aligns the head, the neck, and the spine. From your shoulders, move down to your elbows. From your elbows, move down to your wrists. Notice the palms of your hands. Notice the fingers on your hands as best as you can. Now bring your focus towards your eyes. Notice what you have in front of you. If you have awareness of darkness, notice that. If you have awareness of thoughts, notice that. Becoming aware of awareness itself. That this awareness sits back, watching. Watching. And then as you breathe out, allow your eyes to soften, bringing your focus now towards your mouth. Notice your tongue, the ability to talk, to taste. Scan your tongue from the back all the way to the tip. Allow it to soften. Notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth. There's a whole event going on within you. Sensations on the roof of your mouth, on the insides of your cheek. And then as you breathe out, allow your face to soften. Next breath in, bringing your focus back to your body as a whole. Once again, sensing your body as best as you can. On your next breath in, bring your focus now towards your chest. Notice that your chest moves out and your chest moves in as best as you can. As the breath comes in, there are movements around your chest. As the breath moves out, your breath exhales, your chest relaxes. Hold your focus at your chest. Just this self-directed attention at our heart has a profound healing aspect. Hold your focus at the chest. This whole body all works by itself. No intervention from you. Bring your focus a bit deeper into yourself and hold it there, waiting, waiting to notice how you're really feeling in this present moment, just in this present moment. Do you feel settled? Do you feel unsettled? Hold your focus there. A being that has sensations, a being that has thoughts, and a being that experiences feeling. On your next breath out, open your awareness, begin to listen to the sounds around you, moving beyond your body. Notice the sounds that are near you. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose and begin to watch your breath, allowing the breath to breathe by itself. Notice how the breath is constantly changing. In breath comes in, stops, out breath goes out, stops. Notice how the in breath feels different from the out breath. Remember, we are taking a special note of who and what we are today. And as you watch your breath moving in and moving out, notice that the in breath has a start and an end, and the out breath has a start and an end. Everything that exists has a start, middle, end, start, middle, end. See if you can notice that in your breath. Notice that as you are watching your breath that is changing, you yourself remain the same. The awareness remains the same. See if you can notice that. And this breath that you are taking now is in fact breathing through you. It was there before you were born, and it will be there throughout your life. And each breath we take is a once in a lifetime event. Stay with your breath. This priceless jewel that you got without asking, that keeps you and I alive. Bring your focus to your out breath, following it all the way till the end. And as you get to the end, you will notice there's a tiny little gap before the in breath begins. See if you can notice that. Simply following your out breath as it moves out, all the way till its end. Notice how the breath feels now. Stay with your breath. Does your breath feel light or does it feel heavy? Does your breath feel fast or does it feel slow? Stay with your breath. The longer you can stay with your breath, the deeper you will sink in the moment of now. Bringing your focus now to the sound of your breath. Try and listen to the in breath as it comes in. Try and listen to the out breath as it goes out. Listening. Does your in breath sound the same as your out breath? Your whole focus simply to listen to the breath. Nothing else matters. On your next breath out, once again we begin to listen to the sounds around us with that same intensity, including the sound of our breath, open to any sound that's around us. Listening. We can only listen in the present moment. Listening. bringing your focus to your experience. Notice the silence, notice the stillness. Notice your presence, or should I say presence, awareness. Notice the timelessness of this moment, the eternal now. Notice the presence of peace, the absence of fear, anger. This silence, this stillness is our essential quality, the ground of your being, beyond fear, beyond hate, beyond death, beyond life, ever present. Gently bring your focus beneath your nose and sit with your breath. Notice how the breath breathes by itself. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness, coming back to your body again, becoming aware of the body as best as you can. How does the body feel? Notice the silence, notice the stillness within the body itself. Bringing your focus to where your body makes contact with your chair or your seat. Notice exactly where you started, gently sensing your thighs, from your knees moving down to your ankles. Take your time. This is your body. Honor this moment. Coming to your feet, coming to the soles of your feet. Notice that the back is straight upright. Shoulders, arms, hands are comfortable, relaxed. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. And now, as the breath moves in, you begin to sense your body. As the breath moves out, you sense your body. Almost as though the body breathes by itself. In a few moments, when you hear the next bell, use to draw some slow, deep breaths in, and in your own good time, gently opening your eyes, knowing that you took the time to recognize all that you are.